Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Wednesday, February the 5th. The year's 2025. Let's talk trading, one trade at a time. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. One trade at a time. I was actually going to say one thing at a time, but I thought since we're talking about trading, we'll focus on trading. One trade at a time. The reason why I brought that up was because you need to focus in the moment, not on the last trade or any of the previous trades, and not on the next trade, but on the trade that you're in, or the trade you're about to get in, or the trade you're about to exit, which would be the trade that you're in. And the thing is, it's really easy to get distracted. You might have other windows open, get email, look at your phone, have video, just lots of distractions, and it takes your attention away from your trade, the focus. And there is one other thing you need to focus on, and that's your risk management, because you never want to lose more than you're willing to lose on any one single trade. So when we look at the charts, once again, focus. You know, if you have a whole lot of things on the chart, it's going to be hard to focus. You know, for example, here we've got the 3-level ZZ along with the TRO, dynamic support resistance. And so why do you have both of them? Well, this one just gives you a label, the 3-level ZZ, but the dynamic support resistance shows where it was and when it starts to move. You can trace it along looking back, and sometimes that helps. And then I have the previous M30 wick zone on this particular chart. And so we know price doesn't like to stay in the wick zone, and here price got into the wick zone and now it's left it, and it'd be good for about 8 pips at the moment. But it's really easy to lose focus, because you can really start to put a whole bunch of indicators on here. Like I've got these multimeters, but basically I just have them there for 2 reasons. Reason one is I can, just out of the corner of my eye, I can see, hey, it's mostly green. So I might want to look for longs or stay in the trade if I'm already long. And the other thing is, you know, it's like if I want to know what's the day's range or the week's range or the month's range, or how far we are from the different opens, I've got it right there, real simple. And in this particular case, I got the wick zone, lets me know if we're in wick zones. So you can see here, if we switch over to H4, you can see you're in that H4 wick zone. And so light blue means the upper wick zone, and dark blue would be the lower wick zone. But the point is that just one trade at a time. And that really gets into psychology, because if your last trade was a winner, and you might be happy, and you might think, you know, you're on a roll or something. If the last trade was a loser, you might be depressed and angry and mad, and you want to get back. And either one of those things can put you into a tilt. And that's what you don't want to have happen. You don't want to tilt. You don't want to just start doing random trades. You just want to really make sure you're executing according to the method or system or plan that you have set out. I mean, it's not really that difficult. It really isn't. Oh, I also have the mid dots here. So the previous candle's midpoint. And I used to trade that a lot. So if it opens above, you look to go long. If it opens below, you look to go short. And you trade the crossover. So you can see here, open below, crossed above. And it just depends. So here we got a 3-ball. So it's like, well, you want to go short down here and long above it until you get another ball in place. And, you know, focusing on that trade, you know, one trade at a time. When you exit, that trade's over. And so you don't want the woulda, coulda, shouldas to mess you up. You don't want the, oh, I could have had, because Walmart and I do that all the time, but we do it as a joke because it's like, hey, if you were targeting 2 pips, you got your 2 pips, and it runs another 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 or 20. You know what? That wasn't your trade. You did what you were supposed to do. So don't worry about it. Don't focus on it. Focus on your trade, one trade at a time. So now you're out of the trade. And so you wait. You look at the chart. You look for your next entry. You wait for all your signals to line up. You wait for your trigger, and then you execute. So you can see here we just had dark blue on the 1 minute. Just looks like it left that wick zone. No, went right back into it. Right there, dark blue. So for me, if you followed my videos, you know when I see a 1 ball, most of the time I get out because usually it's going to come back the other way on me. You know, if you want to try and ride the trade, then right here, if it breaks below this level, it's pretty much over. And then what will happen a lot of times is it'll hit that level, bounce, and go in your direction. You will get out of the trade, and then you'll be mad. You can't do that. You do that, you're going to put yourself in a tilt. You know, and focusing on the trade means you are constantly asking yourself questions. You know, does it meet my criteria? You know, whatever your criteria happens to be. Because it's so easy to see, oh, I could have done this, or if I would have been long there or short there, but if those aren't your trades, those aren't your trades. Now, in this particular case, we've got the lower low wick zone. Actually, that's the lowest low, so we put the wick zone there. And you can see price came in and left that wick zone once again. And there's the highest high wick zone, 41 M5 bars ago. And once again, these are just there. If I really want to look for something, I can. If not, I scan. It keeps me from, you know, changing chart time frames or chart periods. It's just, you know, all the information's there if I want it. This was one of Walmal's charts. I think he still uses it. But, you know, he likes to trade those flip-flop boxes. And so right here, I think he'd be going short. I wouldn't take the trade because M30's green, and most of my losers or things that put me in trouble is when I take a trade against the M30 candle color. And every now and then when I do, I have to remember I'm doing it. So if I get a pip or two, I'm done. So you can see there, he would have been profitable, at least at the moment. He could have a pip. He probably would be targeting the 20. And see, right there's the reason why I take that quick pip and be done with it. And then, of course, this happens, and it keeps going in a direction. But see, if you really wanted to trade that short, you take that first trade, take your pip or two, then it comes back, gave you another opportunity to enter at that level. Then you can add in or enter a second trade. Of course, it always doesn't work that way, and you know, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. But you can see here how if you just focus on one thing, and you stick with it over and over and over, and you can see here almost 2 pips to the good. And we did have red news today. The ADP numbers came out, about a little over an hour ago. It, as you can see here, it moved the market. Here, earlier in the day, we broke across the previous day's high. Let's take a quick look here at the pivot trading plan. Bambino Flex indicator said to go long. Near R1 bias is short, right there. Right now, we have not hit the daily pivot. So we got a missed pivot. But we've taken out the week and we've taken out the month. So, fellow traders, I hope you take what I said to heart, one trade at a time. Focus on your plan, focus on your method, focus on your system. Forget about what happened. Don't think about what might happen. Just focus on what is happening, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.